Hey, hi, welcome back. So last session we just saw about the basics of cloud computing and an overview of what is Azure. And this session we'll be seeing about what is Azure subscription, what is billing, and finally we'll see about pricing calculator. Okay, so let's get into what is Azure subscription. So what is Azure subscription? So Azure subscription is a unique entity. It is a unique global entity that gets access to your Azure subscription. For example, it is a key to unlock your Azure account. Okay, and you can also create multiple subscription in your Microsoft Azure account to create a separation, which where you can use particular resources in one subscription and next set of resources in your other subscription. Okay, and subscription is an agreement between Microsoft and the user, where it is officially agreement signing procedure where we can give them an approach like we are going to use their resources for creating and deploying our resources. And the licensing would calculate in terms of per user licensing fee and cloud-based resource consumption. So this would be the two charges consumption. Okay. So next we'll see about types of subscription. So when it comes to the types of subscription, we have a more amount of Azure subscription. So we'll see major types here. So the first type would be free account. So when it comes to kickstart your Azure subscription, we'll be using a free account, and free account will give you like 13,300 credits, where you can use all the resources for the first 30 days, and then you will be charged for when it crosses beyond the 30 days. Okay, and I have also provided a link over there where that will take you to create a new Azure subscription, and I'll also show you in the demo how to create a new subscription. Okay, so the next would be pay as you go subscription. As the name itself says, the pay as you go, which refers to the services which is being consumed. You have to pay for only resource which is being utilized. Okay. So when it comes to the pay as you go subscription, so the billing model will be monthly charges model. So it would be the resources which you use per month. So which would be subscribed as pay as you go subscription. Okay. With this subscription, you can also attach your credit card or debit card for your billing process, where the amount will be debited from your credit card or debit card. And you will also be provided with a monthly invoice with the charges consumption, which includes your services and resources which you have been used as a pay as you go. Okay, so this is the high level overview of pay as you go. And next would be enterprise agreement. So the name itself you can identify enterprise. So this license would mainly used for large organizations, an enterprise organization. So this subscription is you mainly commit to use a certain amount of Azure resources for a period of time. If you are going to commit for a particular resources, you can go with the enterprise agreement. In this, what you can do is you have to pay your consumption for a year of time. You have to pay your amount ahead. So depending on the amount of commitment you give to the Microsoft Azure, they'll be providing you with a discounts in Azure services in terms of costing and expense. So enterprise agreement suits to hybrid scenarios. For example, when we have a model like lift and shift model where we are going to completely migrate our on-premises to our cloud, so we would be knowing about the consumption charges and other things. So in that case, instead of going with pay-as-you-go model, you can go with enterprise agreement. Okay. So what if you exceed your amount? So what if our resources exceeded beyond the limit? So it will not immediately prompt for us, or it will not stop. you know. Still the process and service works, where you can pay your resources in arrears process. This is the main advantages which involves in enterprise architecture. Okay. So the next subscription would be MSDN subscription. So if you have an MSDN subscription, so you will be getting around $150 per month. You can use that credits. You can create your resources and service by using that credits. So when will you get that service? So if you have a Microsoft Visual Studio Enterprise Edition, you will be provided with the credits of $150. Okay. So if the credits or if the services which you have been utilized is going beyond the consumption charges of $150, then your services would have been disabled. So instead, what you can do is you can attach your credit card or debit card to extend the services process. Okay, so this is what MSDN subscription will look like. Okay. So the next thing will come to about billing in Azure. So we're talking about billing in Azure. Billing is a major concept in Azure. So billing will give you a complete insight and overview of resources which you have been deployed in Azure. So you might have deployed a huge amount of services in Azure. So you don't know what is consuming and what is consuming a lot, or something you may not be utilized at all. So everything you can be calculated from billing from Azure. Okay, in addition to viewing and billing in portal, you can also make use of, you can also automate scripts to get the billing information. There are a lot of automated scripts available in market. You can use it and get the billing from your portal, and you can automate by using sending email to particular manager or the IT department of your company. And you can also make use of REST APIs. They have also exposed to the REST APIs, which you can gather the information from your billing, and you can send it to your particular department. Okay, and there is an also concept called tagging, where you can tag each of your resources which is being used, and you can track the cost specifically of the tag which you mentioned for the particular resource. This is the tag concept. Going forward, we'll be explaining you more about tagging. Okay, so the final topic would be pricing calculator. Okay, so the pricing calculator is a very important topic. The pricing calculator is the recent new launch which has been provided by Microsoft Azure. The pricing calculator, which helps us to analyze and which helps us to analyze the cost of resources which is going to be used, and in which we can get the exact pricing amount. For example, I'll give you a real-time scenario where you have a client and they are being requested for a quote. For example, they want a virtual machine, so they want a resource group, and they want a storage account, and they also want a database such as SQL or Cassandra DB. So they are asking you for a price quote. So what you can do is you can use this pricing calculator as a model. Okay, you can go ahead and create, you can add the virtual machines, what are all the storage, everything you can specify in this, and you can get an estimation like how would the pricing would be calculated. And this information you can create a level of estimation, and you can propose to your clients. This would be a very good example. And with this pricing calculator, we can get the 360-degree approach of all our Azure resource costing. And this could be very much useful tool for proposing your client. Okay, so this is the high-level overview of all the three topics. Going forward, we'll be showing you the demo of the Azure subscription pricing and the billing.